everybody! Today I want to reflect on Holy Saturday, otherwise known as the Easter Vigil. Now this is the longest Mass of the whole year. We wait for the Lord to return in the resurrection, for him to come back to life, for him to rise from the dead. This Mass marks the beginning of Easter. We start the Mass with the service of light. So I want to start by thinking about light. Here I have a torch. Why not have a think together about what we use torches for? You can pause the video. Welcome back. A torch helps to show us the way to go in the dark. Here, I have a night light behind me. Can you see? I wonder what night lights are used for. Have a chat about it. A night light gives us comfort and reassurance in the dark. Here, I have a flashing light. I wonder what flashing lights are used for. Have a chat about it. Flashing lights are warning lights. Here I have a candle. I wonder what candles are used for. Why not have a chat about it? When it's my birthday, I love getting a cake with candles on it. Every time I see a candle, I think of celebration. But I also remember that at Mass, at church, I light a candle for the people that I love. Candles can also make us remember the people that we've lost. The light of the candle represents our prayers. The Easter Vigil starts in complete darkness. It's so cool. And then a new candle is prepared. It's called the Paschal Candle. On every Paschal Candle, there are Greek letters, Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end of the alphabet, the Greek alphabet, representing Christ being the beginning and the end of all things. Did you know that 5 grains of incense are pushed into the candle to represent the 5 wounds of Christ? Painted on the candle is the current year. So this year is 2020. This reminds us of God's presence here and now. Why not make a Paschal candle at home? Or you could draw one. The priest lights the candle from the new fire, saying, "May the light of Christ, rising in glory, dispel the darkness of our hearts and minds." Jesus died, and we might be feeling like everything's dark. Why did he die? We might be feeling doubt and worry. What about our future? Is he what he said he was? Sometimes I don't love how he loves. This prayer that the priest says is so important. May the light of Christ rising in glory dispel, get rid of the darkness of our hearts and minds. Jesus is the light of the world. The light of the candle is the light of Christ that shines in the darkness. What happens next in the Mass is that everyone in the church lights their candle from this Easter candle until the whole church is alight. It's probably one of the most moving and atmospheric moments in the whole liturgical year. It's so quiet and peaceful and so beautiful. At Mass this year, we can't be in the church together, but we are invited to light a candle at home, as long as we're safe with it. Then the Liturgy of the Word begins. We hear lots of readings and psalms from the Old Testament that tell us about salvation history. We look back and remember all the ways that God has tried to save humanity, trying to help us be with him forever. Throughout the Old Testament, we hear about covenants, or promises that God has made with his people to show them how much he loved them. We start by hearing about creation. The creation of the world and all living things and us, and how God's Spirit swept over the face of the earth, and how God looked and saw that it was good. God rescuing Moses and his people from the Egyptians through the parting of the sea. We hear from the prophet Isaiah, who predicted that God would like to make an everlasting covenant with us, an everlasting promise. We hear from another prophet, Ezekiel, and how God will pour clean water over us, and how we will be given a new heart. You see, God's people kept on breaking their promises to God, but Ezekiel knew that one day God will give us a new spirit, and how we will be with God forever. Did you know that there was around 400 years of silence between the Old Testament and the New Testament, where God didn't speak to his people? It was like they were in darkness. Then we hear the bells ring and the organ fanfare, and suddenly light floods the entire building. And now we're back in the light. Normally at this Mass, new members are brought into the church through baptism. People are baptised at this Mass. Others may receive Holy Communion for the first time, or may be confirmed as well. We also all renew our baptismal promises, those promises that were made at our baptism on our behalf. I remember being baptised at this Mass, and being confirmed and receiving my Holy Communion for the first time. It was 14 years ago. I've only been a Christian for 14 years. Now it's Easter. Jesus has risen. He has risen indeed. Now is the time for celebration, time for light and joy. The candle is the candle of celebration. Jesus is everything that we had hoped for. He was what he said he was, the Son of God. He defeated death. We can be with God forever. Alleluia. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to look at the resource on the website that has some ideas of the things that you can do to get ready for Easter. You can also watch this exciting Mass on Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Again, if it's too late, don't worry, it will be recorded. You can watch it the next morning. See if you can spot the fire and the Paschal Candle and all the readings and the lights turning on and the bells. I'll see you next Sunday for Children's Liturgy. Happy Easter!